Super Bowl had another ad that it played that is not getting anywhere near the fanfare that it deserves. This is from the Epstein survivors. See that? 3 million files still not released. This is not over by any stretch. And the idea that the deputy attorney general comes out and says there will be no prosecutions, why do you think we're heading for revolution? And I'm sure that
apparently, wait a second. I have to at least, I'm sorry, we'll get back to this, but apparently in the chat, they're referencing that Dr. Shiva went on with Sabby and it didn't end well and she had to cut him off. I have got to find that because that does not surprise me in the least bit.
No, you can have a nice
if you weren't sitting there having a conversation with him, I would have cut him off too.
Yeah.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth.
Because we all deserve the truth.
Yes.
The problem is that Pam Bondi doesn't, she's not an independent actor.
No, I think she comes from the same camp as Erica Kirk and all the rest of these women that come up through these grooming, like trafficking type rings. I do. So I think she's just one of them.
And so why is this such a big problem? Why can we not?
They're like pod people.
And we cannot let the story die. And again, it's not getting anywhere near the attention that it deserves. We're going to get to the story that was getting the attention. But the reason that this is such a big deal is because evidently now more and more stories are coming out against these sleazebags that we were not fully aware of. Probably always suspected as much, but now we know for absolute certainty that that is the case. And of course, Quentin Tarantino, who I think we all suspected was always a sleazebag, aside from the fetishes that he has. But the fact that he married an Israeli and moved to Israel, apparently there's more to it than that. Quentin Tarantino on Roman Polanski fleeing the U.S. after raping, how about ass raping a child? She was down with it. I don't believe that's rape. I mean, not at 13, not for these 13-year-old party girls. Tarantino now lives in...
Tarantino just said that a 13-year-old girl was down with it.
Down for ass rape. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But he's a father, too, which is so, like... I don't. Just can't.
Tarantino now lives in Israel, where he does photo opportunities with the IOF.
Yeah. He loves those guys. Oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I will never support another Tarantino movie. I have liked his work in the past. I do think his movies are quite good. It now makes sense to me about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, how he was essentially recreating a better narrative for his pedo friend Polanski. Yeah.
Not only that, but you also have to remember, this is not to take anything away from him. And I have not seen, there's a lot of Tarantino's work that I haven't seen. I haven't seen The Hateful Eight. I have not seen Django Unchained. I have not seen this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It was good. And so was Django Unchained. It was also really good.
I haven't seen Inglourious Basterds. I have no doubt
also good.
That a lot of these movies are good. I am obviously of the old school. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, and From Dusk Till Dawn. And From Dusk Till Dawn is a fantastic movie, which he co-did with Robert Rodriguez. That's what gave George Clooney a career outside of ER. And I also think that sometimes these people are incredibly gifted at what they do. Roman Polanski made one of the greatest films of all time in Chinatown. He's also made a lot of other projects that were exceptionally popular, like Rosemary's Baby. That doesn't change the fact that he is a rapist, a child rapist. And I don't want to hear nothing about the fact that she had boobs and hair on her vagina. She's a child.
He just said she was down with it.
Down with it. 13. Down with it. Hey, Quentin, I want to get down. Well, I don't personally, but what if a guy says he wants to get down with your, does he have a daughter?
I don't know. I'm so grossed out. Can we facilitate this so I'm not looking at these pedos?
Well, it's going to get worse because here's an audio recording of what he had to say.
13 years. It was statutory rape.
Yeah,
all right.
All right.
Well, that's not quite the same thing. You know, he had sex with a minor. All right. That's not rape. To me, when you use the word rape, all right, you're talking about violent, throwing them down. It's like one of the most violent crimes in the world. You can't throwing the word rape around is like throwing the word racist around.
What you mean, like how you use how you say in all of your movies? Sorry, I have to bleep myself out from not saying it in full context, but you get the idea. Can you explain what statutory rape is and why this is not what he's making it out to be?
Well, no, I mean, he's correct on the fact that there is a difference between rape and statutory rape. That is true.
Yes.
And he is correct in that generally when we think of rape, we do think of the violent aspect of assault that is included when you rape someone. Like we think of that as a violent assault. However, that's not the only case. Rape is having sexual relations with someone who is unable to give consent. They haven't consented. It doesn't have to be violent. For example, Bill Cosby raped inordinate amounts of women, and I don't know that was necessarily always violent. If you drug someone and they're unconscious, you're not being violent. You're still raping them. So in the case of a 13-year-old, we as a civilization, at least as far as now goes, have decided that a 13-year-old is incapable of consent. Therefore, sexual relations with a 13-year-old by someone who is above 17 years old is statutory rape. Now, if a 14-year-old and a 13-year-old are screwing around, we don't love that, right? But it's not rape. So This is the thing. It's when a consenting person has relations with a non-consenting person can be rape, even when it's not violent. And he knows that. He knows that.
But here's the other part of this story that isn't being addressed here. Do people forget that Polanski gave this child, Quaaludes? Do they not understand that she was drugged? And
so she was down. So that's why she was down with acid.
Why? Because she had a downer in her system. Talk about Freudian slip of language. She was down. Oh, she was down, all right. She was down for the count is what happened.
This is the same as the Bill Cosby thing, actually. Except for the fact that she also was 13 versus Bill Cosby, as far as we know, did it to adult age women. But if you're unconscious, you're not able to consent, even if you are of age. So the fact that she was unconscious and 13, it's like two strikes. But either one of those alone is considered statutory rape. So and he knows this.
And now you understand why the Epstein story is such a big deal, because remember, it's not just clandestine blackmail. There are also ready, willing, and able participants who want to be a part of these protected sex rings so they can live out their perverted and criminal fantasies, make them reality. You can tell that Tarantino's a freak. That's not a
And I don't mind. Wait a minute. First of all, back up. Let's not criticize freakiness, okay? There are a lot of freaky people. A lot of artists are freaky. I don't mind freaky. Freaky is not the problem, okay? So the problem is that he condones rape. That's the problem. So we got to stick with that. Him being freaky, there's a lot of freaky art people. Doesn't mean that they're rape apologists.
Yes, but what is rape, if you follow? It's such a strong word, as he points out. But he's got a little more to say.
All right, it just doesn't apply to everything that people use it for. All right, he was guilty of having sex with a minor. All right,
that she didn't want to have.
No, that was not the case at all. She wanted to have it.
Well,
and dated the guy.
Okay. So I just want to point something out here. This is 13-year-old, right? Okay.
I'm sorry, continue.
This girl was 13 years old. Roman Polanski was 44 years old. 44.
So she's down with that. Here's the thing, and this is what I want to be very clear. So I was also at one point 13, yes, many, many years ago. And many years ago. And we definitely felt like we were down for stuff. We were down with it. We thought we knew everything. Anywhere from 13 to 17, I would have told you I was down with it. I'm good. I would have felt cool. I'm good. Does that make it okay? No, it doesn't. Still rape, still a non-consenting person. So you don't get to have consent when you're not legally able to give consent.
First of all, the fact that Robin Quivers tells him that she was raped, and the way he violently reacts to that, saying no shit. We'll play it one more time just so you can hear his
and to
visceral
whoever in the
reaction.
chat is saying Pam Bondi is gay, I don't see how that's relevant to my statement about that she grew up and groomed in this thing. Do you think that all the women that were abused in this Epstein ring are just all straight women?
No.
Or all the men are just straight? That's not how this works. They don't care if the person that they're raping would naturally be inclined to be with men. Like, does that seem like that comes through these people's minds?
Sounds pretty stupid to
No,
me.
he was guilty of having sex with a minor. All right.
That she didn't want to have.
No, that was not the case at all.
To react like that is telling on yourself. Meaning that there's stuff in his closet that hasn't been fully revealed yet. And
shame on Robin Quivers for entertaining this conversation like that.
Well, that's not really her call.
What?
That's not really her call. That's Howard Stern's call.
No, she's engaging in, no, not to have him on, but that he said that, and that was her response, that she didn't respond back, well, at 13, you can't be down with it because it's illegal, right? Like, she's not even engaging in a rational conversation with him. She's just allowing him to spew pedo bullshit.
He wanted to have it.
Well,
and dated the guy, and
she was 13
and found out. Well, and by the way, we're talking about America's morals. We're not talking about the morals in Europe and everything. Look, she was down with it.
Oh, you're crazy.
And she's talked about it. She's talked about it.
Oh,
now she's an adult.
So crazy.
I don't believe this, right? I mean, not at 13. Not for these 13-year-old party girls out there.
Oh my.
Really?
Now, why would a guy say something like that? I'll tell you why.
Because he has raped women.
He's done it himself.
That's why. You wouldn't say that if it wasn't something that was so comfortable to you. So he clearly is a rape apologist and potentially a rapist.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if a 13-year-old says they're down. I could have been a 13-year-old that might have said that. You don't get to make that choice at 13. That's the whole point.
No. And there again,
I'm disgusted.
Yeah. Lila's here. It's again, yeah. There is, for somebody, friend of the show, who is been in the entertainment world, who may have even run into Tarantino before, it's like, yeah, this is how they think. They think, I'm untouchable. I could do whatever the hell I want. I can bang a 13-year-old, whether she wants it or not, and I can get away with it.
But again, let's go back to the fact that, let's say hypothetically, that she wasn't 13. We still have the fact that he drugged her.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem, right? Like, even if we were willing to overlook the fact that she's a child, which we're not, he still raped her. The fact that afterwards she said she was okay with it still doesn't take it back that it was rape. Right? A rape victim can say and change their mind, and often do, based on threats or fuzzy memory or whatever it is.
Right.
Doesn't change the fact that they were raped just because afterwards they might say they were okay with it. If they weren't okay with it and conscious at the time, they don't even get to change their mind after the fact and say, yeah, it was okay. Still rape. Still rape.
Listen,
because that person intended to have sex with someone unable to give consent, which means at that moment, that's rape. It can't be undone. That's not how this works. I'm infuriated by that.
I'm afraid you're asking for too much. Many years ago, I was on a boat with Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood, and many stories today persist. What happened? What did I do? What didn't I do? Was I doing Natalie Wood? Was I doing Robert Wagner? Was I doing both? I don't remember. That's the story I told then. I'm telling it now, and I'm never changing it. Wow. Can you believe it?